Chris has just dropped in a pair of 7 Series, and what we're going to do is, out of this one that's been converted for drift use and has a manual gearbox, and we're going to take gearbox out of that and we're going to put in this lovely 740. So you can see, beautiful, and we're going to manual this and do a proper like factory kind of conversion on it. It's going to be really nice. I think it's broke. You might as well have a big stupid engine, and that's kind of what we're doing here at the minute. Hi, my name's Will. God inspired me to start Will's Wheels, and God inspired me to create these videos. We take retro and classic cars and we resurrect them from the dead. Break. Were you not here? They run in?
Not really, I wasn't there. I wasn't speaking to them. I seen it come off the trailer like. But I never.
I think we're going to have to do a bit of better conversion than this. 5-speed or 6-speed then?
5.
That's that gearbox I sold about 3 years ago, isn't it?
Is it?
I think so. This car's been through about 4 owners, but
Right, okay.
I think I sold the guy the manual conversion kit for this car. This is what happens when you walk in here and you ask somebody for something and they're like, call out having to do work.
Tell me about it.
We had the exhaust door.
It's not that happy.
No, it's really not. Most of the exhaust. And this here is the biggest problem with an E38. There's rusty tanks, and they go there. They go everywhere where the seal is, and they go up there on the top, and they go round every jacking point, or not mountain point, just around the sides and there and there. And look at this. Yeah. See that? That is rust. Thankfully, this is the donor car and not the good one. You can repurpose them, you can take them apart, you can defume them and weld them up again, but it's got a bit of work. What do you mean? Oh, right. Aye. Imagine that probably fairly sloppy when you're driving that round. Yeah, that's fine. It would be. That's fine. I'm sure. We'll just do what we would have been doing anyway. We're gushing out of everything else. Right? Right. This is a clutch. This is a ratchet. Okay, this is how we start. And this is
just to disturb you.
Oh, go on.
That is not a clutch.
That's a very good point. Okay, start again. This is a flywheel.
If you want to do it, this is the clutch.
We've already taken that off, if you want to do it, and then turn right and say, this is the flywheel.
No, it's okay.
So,
No.
I'll not interrupt you again.
No, unless I do something. This is a
So take 2, boss, and get your backs right there because you're going to look silly.
Okay, this is a flywheel, this is a ratchet, and this is not a torque spit. Let me see if that will focus on it. It is in fact a ribe bit, R-I-B-E, and this is a ribe size 10. And I think some of these use a size 11, it might be the 540, the 6-speed flywheel uses a size 11. This one uses a size 10, is that right, or is it the other way around? give me an 11 just to double check. You have to put it. It does fit. You have to put it in at an angle. It doesn't go in straight. That's something to note too. Is it doesn't just go straight in. They actually canter out a little bit. They're slightly skew off. And the reason it is a ride bit and not Torx bit is because the Torx bit has pointy edges and a ride bit has flat edges, but it's the same amount of pointy bits on it. Show the difference. Aye, there's a Torx bit. See the pointy edges. See, ride bit, squared off edges. Yep. The reason that you have to use a ride bit is mainly because it has a ride bit in it, but if you use a Torx bit, you will end up bringing the bolts. These bolts are captive, you cannot get into them. You could possibly drill one out, but you'll not be replacing one in a big hurry. Because they're dual mass flywheel, which is about that thick, and the bolts are captive inside it. So even when I release these bolts, they're still going to stay in here. So it's kind of awkward. And they're also usually very tight. But again, this is not an original one on the car, so it might not be torqued up to specs. And also, when you get it on, I find it very useful. Look at that. That's service there. To give it a little tap with a hammer, not to batter it on or anything, but just to make sure that it's seated right. And then these are tight. You can do this under the car. I've done it under a car before. It's not easy, as you can see why. There we go, and we're doing that with a 2 foot or 3 foot breaker bar on the other side to counter it, because it will make the engine turn. So I've done one. I'm going to go around and release all these first before taking them off completely, because you don't want to get to the last one or two and have all the rest of them completely released and then be trying to get the torque onto the last couple when there's nothing to hold the flywheel in place. So we're nearly done. We're going so well so far. I don't believe in jinxes, so I'm not adverse to saying, oh look how good we've got this so far. Just unscrew it, unscrew it, unscrew it, unscrew it until the arm gets sore, and that's probably about enough. Some helpful volunteer to appear with a little small crowbar. A small one, yes, and then you can lever that while I hold this. That's it. That's it. There we go. See? Captive bolts. But don't go anywhere. How annoying is that? But that's how you get one off. Jay thought this blue pipe here for the gearbox cooler was going well, but then we spotted the big John Deere bolt right there. A new bearing is like a tenner from BMW. Aye. Well, we'll put a bearing into our one anyway, do it right.
Do you want to hammer that one out of the engine, or do you want to just put a new one in?
My special tool is, oh no, it's not it. It's an M badge. That's there. That's the big one, isn't it? If we're gonna do it on the car, then we will need to lower it down.
Because you're working, I'm not.
And how's that different from any other day?
I didn't say it was.
That's good. There you are. Stay. Ha ha ha.
Will's in his element here. He's finally been let outside, like out of the office.
Indeed.
We'll never get him back inside for a cup of tea.
Hey! And the reason that we're after this is the centre bearing. for the spigot shaft in the gearbox, and you need that to stop the gearbox rattling around. If you don't have that bearing inside there, then the gearbox spigot will just wobble around and end up wrecking your gearbox. Is that launch?
Yes.
Hey.
Because the donor car is cable and
We'll have to use a facelift pedal box.
because the other car's electric. So whack that off and throw this on.
Yes.
This is a bit dicey. We're trying to push this car down the hill, but I can't put it in gear because there's no gears now. There's no brake pedal, there's no clutch pedal, and already the foot operated handbrake, or the foot brake, whatever you call it, parking brake, was out of it. So literally there's no brakes, and we're on a slope, so this is a wee bit disconcerting sitting in here. But the one thing about this is the donor car. I do love the colour of this car. It's been a respray, but it's gorgeous. Okay, so I need to take my coat off because we're not complete Hallions around here, and my coat is not clean. Here, Jay. I'm not gonna sit into a car with champagne lather in it. You haven't heard this car yet? This beautiful, gorgeous sound is brought to you by Powerflow. And Jay's decided he wants an E38 now as well.
You just spoil it on too.
They should put a spoiler on a 7 Series.
Yeah.
Allen keys, man. Oh, well, you may get him an Allen key. Let's see what's in here. I suppose that's all going to be there. Jack's there. Oh no, wait, Jay, look, we found the Allen key.
There you go. Put it in the
You
tube
go,
now,
use a
yeah.
complete tool set. No.
You want to lift it up and see what's underneath? I think that's where I'm going to stand there.
Look, you done it right too.
Oh, it is!
What? Oh, straight pipes, no caps. No caps.
Oh, it's really done well.
That's a heat shield what's been tacked in.
That's recent too, because they're nice and new. And it's a wide light.
Why?
Which also gives it the bar. Can't leave these bolts like really hard to get off. That's always well in there. Why didn't they just unbolt it?
Alien. Is this not a cat?
So it is.
Should these have two cats?
No, you get. Sometimes they have like one wee cat up there because those are 4x1 manifolds.
Yes.
The facelift, the M62TU engine,
Yeah.
has 4x1s instead of 4x2s. So you get one little mini cat up there sometimes.
You still in it?
Can't see.
Okay.
And you get that one. And then if they have, if they have the one up there, then this one here is smaller.
Which is hot.
It's really hot, yeah. Didn't realise how long the fingers were. But I think there should be, yeah, look, see that weld mark there? That's where that one should be. And of course, I've just burnt my finger on that one there, so of course straight away I go like that there with 2 fingers, but it's not so bad up here. But
Right, so when removing an automatic gearbox, if you want to keep the torque converter on the gearbox, provided the gearbox isn't scrap, you first have to loosen all the bolts holding the torque converter on. So, quite an awkward job, but should only take us 17mm on this car. So, get things off. And there we go, that's all it takes. It varies how many is on each car, but we'll keep going and have a look and see.
Am I doing anything here?
No, it does literally just hold it on top.
I'm office furniture, am I allowed to put stuff?
Yeah, you
You can hold stuff up.
Right,
Hat stand at the minute then, is that what I'm?
going down.
That's going down. You both getting there? 3, 2, 1, lift! Okay.
Yeah.
So original pedal,
Yes.
E38 brake pedal,
Yes, but it's been trimmed down.
trimmed down, and an E39 clutch pedal, which are now the same length.
Yes.
What was it? Was it different length? The whole E39 brake pedal was longer, wasn't it?
Yes. There's the long.
So an E39 brake pedal is too long.
Yeah, which it didn't look right like
I
this.
know, it would have been near the floor there, wouldn't it? Yeah. Sitting right down there. But an E39 clutch pedal puts there? Or is there a difference in pre-facelift and facelift? Is there?
No, that's
E39 clutch pedals there and brake pedals there?
yeah.
That must mount higher on the box end, does it?
If you see it. Oh, but then you also see the difference in the length
Yeah.
of them.
Mm-hmm.
So it is so, and this one would have done, but then you would have had to drill that right through.
The servo mounts in a different place on the brake pedals as well, so if we cut down the other one, the E39 one, it wouldn't have mounted in the right place. So going with this one, the clutch line is poking up through there, the servo right there, and the servo is going straight up. Jay's drilled a wee hole into the body just where it was actually marked out where it should be. So he's drilled a wee hole up through there, and that's perfect. It's come just up behind the servo inside the engine bay. And all that is remaining now, because we've swapped the pedal box itself over to an E39 one to put a clutch pedal on, it means we lose the mounting points for the foot mounted parking brake on an E38. Obviously you can get manual left hand drive E38, so you probably could have bought a pedal box to do this, but you can't get manual E38 right hand drives, so there just isn't a pedal box available to make this work. So we're going to have to figure out something here to make the pedal brake or the parking brake work. Like there's space here to put it in, but there's no mounting points on the pedal box. So what we're going to do, I don't know yet. We can't just like have it alloy welded onto the side because it goes around the steering column and it uses some of the same mounting points beside the brake. It just doesn't line up. It can't be done. So what we're going to do, that remains to be seen. That is the only headache, but now we have a working system here. All we need to do is get the master cylinder mounted on in the engine bay, and we have our pedals working. We just don't have a parking brake as yet.
I think we should go home now.
Loose then?
No, nothing right.
Or nothing lying on the front? I just rattling around on it?
Yep.
And it can screw down?
Nope.
Just lift it off and check it.
Can I go over?
This is the electric handbrake unit out of an E35 or whatever one of these things is, which is really handy because we needed something, and then I was trying to figure out what way to work the cables, and then I thought of, ooh, electric could work, and then we're looking at Mercedes stuff, and then I realised we just got this 645 in, or 745 in for sort of repairs, but the engine's kaput in it, so then I thought, ooh, this will do. So we're going to try and make this work. So well, it looks like there. Because I'm a genius.
So that's the manual prop now fitted along with our manual box. This is made out of part of an E38 and an E39 prop to match up with the E39 gearbox and diff. I've also had to use an E39 gear selector, so the mounts had to be welded on to the car for that there by one of the members of our team. There's the other three were off who could weld, so I'll not say who done that. The refurbished fuel tank has been fitted. It was done out of Brownlow radiator, so we're glad to have that back. And now just to put on the heat shields and then the exhaust, and that's us ready to see if she fires up. What's next for us then?
Well, I need to take these handbrake levers out, or cables, take the handbrake cables out, and then figure out, I'm going to put shorter ones in that work with this module. I need to figure out where to put this module. I don't think I can put it under the car. I don't think it's going to be good for it. Electrics and grease and stuff.
And the other part just come out of the...
It was inside the boot, so I might try and find somewhere inside the boot to put it, but I need to install cables over first. And a few other bits and pieces you could do for me if I'm doing that. I was a list here in a second.
I never liked it when you pull out a list.
I know, I got this list when he brought the car in. The amp unit needs swapped over in the boot.
Yeah, that's no bother.
One coolant plug, front and the radiator. Just need to check that and make sure it's. I think it's broken, or the sensor's broke, or the wire's broke, or something. Leaking fuel tank's sorted. Need hedgehog, putting it because the heater's not blowing hot air.
Okay.
I need to find a good gear knob for it because there wasn't a good gear knob in the other donor car.
I can imagine. So there was a lot of rough.
Aye. And there's a battery drain to fix, and needs radiator shroud. Find us one of them. And that's it, and some file I've got later as well. That's about it. So if you would look at that coolant plug, I'll do that amp unit when I'm doing that, so it's no big deal, and get a hedgehog for it as well and sort that out. Have it out.
Okay.
Alright. jams on.
No, I've seen it on this side, yeah. It's coming, look.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's like 2 bolts in there.
Yeah.
And then you put this to stay still somehow.
Yeah.
Just like that, and straight up, and back to sea.
I'll hop in and put in the brake that day.
Swimming can do, because I'm break it now. Good. Oof! Right, that's good.
What's happening?
None. That's the problem, nothing's happening. Not a thing is happening. There we go. Our project cars, isn't it? Nobody ever sees all this. Right, that's it. I'm going to be needing a couple of new bolts as well. These things are wrecked.
There you go, right?
You know, I didn't put these things on. Like.
Some people are afraid that the car will fall apart when you drive it, so
Those did not need to be on like that. That's ridiculous. Shape into it like they're rotten. $50 to take off rear brakes. Nobody would ever believe that. Right. Cables are just pulling apart. You can't get the the cables out. They're completely rusted into the hubs, so I'm just gonna take the hubs off now and drill the rest of the cables out. The metal tabs that go into the back of the hubs, which no other option for it now. So Jay's been working on this all morning. He's released the top camber arm. Fortunately, it would not come out of the hub because it's completely seized, so we had to take it off the other end. This arm came out, not too bad. Calipers off. Shock, completely stuck, will not release from the hub at all. No amount of heat, no amount of anything will get that to come off, and the drive shaft won't come out at all. All the bolts undone, but no, it's staying there. So now we're at the point of this handbrake cable still won't come out. So the only option now is to cut it with this and then drill it out from the front or from the back or something like that, and hope that we get the drilling the right size to get rid of the rest of it so that we can put the other handbrake cables into it. This has turned into a proper disaster. This is we're a day and a half into this now to change 2 handbrake cables. Ridiculous. Everything seized. Stupid.
this hassle just because the back shocks are seized solid into the hub. Here you're right to get a shot. So this is the hassle you have to go to when everything is seized. Shafts and shocks all very much part of the hub.
This will make it look like I was doing all the work.
No.
But well, that's I'm fine with.
Fair enough. We're just going to phone BM and see what the charge the change handbrake cables over in our 7 days.
Alright. I am now going to drill these things out. Right, it's like 4 o'clock now. See if we can't get this sorted today. This will be, the end of the day will be literally 2 days spent in this. So if we can't get this sorted today, then the new hub's going in this, because this is ridiculous. But I'll try and drill these out. I can't even wedge that one out. Whatever these are made of, like, it's ridiculous. So I'll try and drill this one out and see if we can get drilled out right. All this stuff is seized into it, so I can't even work around that. So, but I'll see how I get on drilling this. Oh, I'm very annoyed now